Hey everyone, welcome to Recipe Records. I'm Jeel and I will be the host of this podcast. If this is the first time listening to Recipe Records, this will be a podcast where I talk about recipes across generations in my culture. I'm going to interview my family members about the food recipes across generations. My parents were born in India and came to the United States with my grandparents. My grandmother is an amazing cook and takes the time to cook everything from scratch using real ingredients. And then there's my dad. He loves food, but there's something that changed in the passing down of the love of cooking across the generations. So today I'm going to speak to my family and get a better understanding of how food can matter and how culture is such an important part of who we are. So let's find out if one dish can change it all. So, in my culture, we eat foods that were passed down from generations. My parents and grandparents have learned to make these recipes so we can be more connected with our culture and traditions. So, this is the part of the show where we talk about different recipes in my culture and how it keeps us connected. So, one time, my cousins, aunts, and uncles were coming over for the weekend, and my mom and grandma were supposed to make food, and they were going really crazy to try to prepare all the food on time. Yeah, so in my family, my grandma and my mom go crazy to prepare good dishes. So even though I think the food in my culture is important and it is what my grandparents have made since my parents were little and even when they were little, I don't enjoy it so much. Like there are some foods in my culture which I don't really love, but I still think it's important to us because it connects us with our culture. So this is where I interview my grandmother, my dad, and my mom. So I used my phone to record my mom, dad, and grandma about the different foods in our culture, and I'm just going to play them. And also, since my grandmother doesn't speak English, I translate her answers to English so you can understand what she's saying. So take a listen now as I play the interviews. Interview with my mom. How do you think food traditions fit into our busy lives today?
Well, food traditions are very important part of our life. Even though life is very busy for nowadays, we should make time to prepare family traditional recipes so we can enjoy them together. We can prep it ahead of time, make some small portions, and then enjoy it together. And we should have more family gatherings so we can enjoy more traditional recipes.
Okay. Do you feel like family recipes matter just as much now?
Yes, of course, it does matter just as much now because I feel like it brings back memories. I still get a lot of happiness when I'm making our traditional recipe that my mom used to cook, and when I make it, it just gives me as much joy as I used to see my mom making it.
And what would it mean for me to learn how to make it too?
It would be a great joy if you learn our traditional family recipes, and when you grow old and cooking it for our family, you cook it for our family, and enjoying that prepared by you will be the best thing we can ever have. That would be the best food we can ever have.
Okay, thank you. What did eating cultural food mean to you back then?
Back then, my mom used to make, I remember my mom used to make so many Indian dishes, traditional ones. So I grew up eating Indian traditional foods. It's all about its unique flavor and spices and ingredients. So overall, it's a big deal for me to enjoy Indian traditional food.
Did you ever try making it yourself?
I can cook certain dishes, but not everything. My mom, as I said, like she is really good cook, and so does my wife. So I can tell if the food is delicious by its aroma, texture, and taste. So yeah.
What do you feel when you eat it now or when your mom makes it?
I really love Indian traditional foods so much. Even today, whenever I taste good Indian traditional food, it feels satisfying to me, especially when it's cooked by my mom or my wife. It I really enjoy it.
Okay, thank you. So I'm sitting down with my grandmother and she speaks Hindi, so I'm just going to translate for her.
જ્યારે નાના હતા ત્યારે કયું ખાવાનું બનાવ્યું?
When you were little, what foods did you learn to make? She said, when I was little, I learned to make wheat tortillas, Indian crepes, and yellow rice. When you were little, who taught you how to cook? My mom. She said my mom taught me how to cook food when I was little. Do you remember what age you were when you first learned to cook? She said I learned how to cook when I was either in 7th or 8th grade. Did you ever teach my father how to cook? Was he any good at it? Yes, I taught him a little bit, but he wasn't very good at it. I taught his sister, and she was pretty good for tradition going.
તમને મને મારા પપ્પાને બનાવવાનું શીખવાડ્યું હતું?
But she didn't enjoy it so much. Okay, thank you. So I learned a lot about my family and how they value everything that was part of their culture. And I want to remember that it's really important to value your culture and the traditions that you were born with. So I think we are just about out of time on this episode. Today we talked about different foods in my culture that bring my family together, and then I played an interview with my mom and grandma and my dad and got their perspectives about our cultures, food, and recipes across generations. The views and opinions expressed in these recordings do not necessarily reflect the views or position of Herricks School District. Thanks for listening, and when you get a moment, talk to your family about the traditions and culture to get a better idea of who we are. Bye.